Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. I know many of you struggle with creating layered cards, but I wanted to share with you a set today from European Papercrafts which is going to solve that problem. Now this set is called Romantic Pictures, and what's really great about this set is it gives you everything that you need to create the layers. But not only that, it takes you a step further. It actually gives you a picture of the layout to show you how the layers go together. So even if you don't have any idea of how to put some of your layers together, this is a really simple kit to create a perfect layered card every single time. Now I decided I wanted to create a 5x7 Valentine's Day card. So to begin, I took some paper from my stash and I cut it down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Had to think about that for a second. And then I took my paper distresser and then I distressed the edges. Now I want this to be kind of a shabby chic kind of a card, but that still is kind of vintage. But since this is a Valentine's Day card, I wanted to have a little bit of a romantic flair to it. So after I distressed the edges, I did tear some of the paper because again, I am going for that distressed look. And then I added some of my distress ink called Vintage Photo. And then I took the bigger piece, which is the square piece here from the set, and I trimmed it down to be able to mat it right on top of my, my base. Now, if you wanted to create an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, then the small piece of paper that I just cut here for you would be perfect for that. But because I wanted to go with a little bit of a bigger card, I went ahead and started out with my own paper. But that completely is up to you which way you want to go. So again, I took my paper distresser and I edged up the pieces of the paper to distress it just a bit. And then I added the Vintage Photo. And then I adhered that piece to the first piece that I had distressed. So for this first example, I decided to actually go a little bit off of the pattern, but I'm going to show you that I am following it for the most part. At the end of the video, you'll see where I put the I love you towards the bottom instead of on the top, and I did add some extra bling to my card. But for the right side, I did want to go ahead and keep that pattern of using the flowers along with that floral piece. So I went ahead before I began it as I just punched everything out that I knew I was going to use so I would have it handy. And the perforations on this set are great. You're not going to struggle with it. You're not going to have to do any fussy cutting. It will just pop right off. So that makes it really nice as well. Okay, so my third layer is this piece that I'm adhering right now. And this is a picture of two hands holding a bouquet. And this would be perfect for a wedding card, an anniversary card. But I decided to go a little bit more generic and just create more of a love card. So I didn't put a Valentine's Day sentiment inside. I wanted it to be a little bit more versatile. The next thing I did was I added that, that flower. And I ended up adhering it a little bit too high, so I brought it down a little bit lower. And then there was another piece in the kit that actually was the center part of that flower, so it will pop up and create a 3D element. European Papercrafts also has some great little adhesives that will help you with the pop-ups. And all of this product that I'm using is available in their shop, and I will make sure that I leave links below for you. So again, I'm using some of these foam adhesives to go ahead and pop up my images just to create that 3D effect. So now that I have that photo framed, I decided to come in with one of my personal literature love quotes. And this is from my Etsy shop. I created these special for Valentine's Day, and these are quotes from some of our favorite literature books. The sentiment that I decided to work with is states, "I never wish to be parted from you from this day forward." And this is from Pride and Prejudice. Mrs. Darcy says this, and Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite books, so I tend to use quotes from them often. So once I printed out my digital image, I went ahead and I took my distresser to get ready to adhere it. But once I was ready to adhere it, I found it was a little bit too big, so I decided to come in and punch it with one of my punches that I have. Now these little sentiments are great as well because you can easily use them with some of your die cuts, and I intentionally left some bigger borders around the words so that way you could use some of your punches. And then once I had my sentiment exactly the size that I needed, I went ahead and punched it out, and I adhered it with some of those 3D foam pieces from European Papercrafts. Alright, so following the design in my kit, I did decide to add my little pink hearts next, and those are going to be on the left-hand side. Now I didn't pop those up because I knew I wanted to add some of my little plastic heart-shaped adhesive pearls that are also from European Papercrafts. And these little hearts that I'm going to be adding on top of my paper hearts, the set is called Kiss and Makeup. And the set actually comes with red and pink hearts, and the adhesive is already on the back side. So all you have to do is just pull it right out of the pack and it's ready to go. So I added my paper hearts first, just using some adhesive, and then I took my adhesive pearl hearts and I put them right on top. Now because my paper hearts were pink, I decided to use the pink hearts. But again, the set has pink hearts as well as some red hearts. So once I had my hearts adhered, it was time to add my little I love you printouts that came in the kit. And this of course is what you see on the left hand side, which is the small I, the heart, and then you. And these are individual pieces. So I went ahead and punched those out, and instead of following the pattern that was in the book where the I love you is on the top, I went ahead and I added that I heart you at the bottom, because remember I had added my own personal sentiment on the top, but I still think it worked. And this card is going to be perfect not only for Valentine's Day, but it could work for an anniversary or even a birthday. Any love occasion I think this card would work for. Now as you recall, I had trimmed down some of that piece of paper that was my second layer, and I didn't want that to go to waste because the paper is so pretty. So after I had finished creating the outside of my card, I decided to add some of that paper to the inside just to kind of have the card tie together. Now one tip I want to give you when you are working with cards where you have some 3D or some items that are going to pop up, you may want to actually adhere the base of your card or the top part, what we're working on right now, to the base of your card, and that's that white cardstock that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. A lot of times people have or struggle with adding their card to the base, which is the white cardstock, when they have a lot of bling, because it's not going to lay flat. Remember that. I typically don't have a problem because I've been doing this for so long, but what you may want to consider is when you start to get to the part where you're going to be adding some of those 3D elements, you may want to go ahead and adhere it to your white cardstock and then continue to work on it from there. But that's just purely your choice. Just wanted to let you know that some people do struggle with that, so take that into consideration. Alright, so now that I'm working on the inside of my card, I went ahead and used some of that paper that I had trimmed down, so that way the sentiment that I'm using reads, "Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same." And this is a quote from Emily Bront. Emily Bronte? Emily Bront. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but it's a beautiful quote, and it's a sentiment that I've used not only for Valentine's Day cards, but birthdays as well as anniversaries. So hopefully you've liked my process for creating this layered cards, and it will take away some of that intimidation that you may have. These kits are beautiful, and I will definitely leave links at the bottom. And if you do a link, I will leave you a coupon code, which is Monica, where you can get 10% off from European Papercrafts. Not only do they have this set that I showed you here, but they have other sets as well, so be sure to check out the shop. So as always, I'll leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the card along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And let me know what you think about my layered card. Now if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by. Alright everybody, we'll see you again next time.